Welcome to Swedish Guy Flies. Today we are flying the airliner and we're flying him from Stockholm, Arlanda airport down to Copenhagen. And this is the fly-by-wire A320 and we're flying the SAS livery today. Looking very sharp. So let's get into the cockpit and get busy. We're going to use this nice chase plane program where you can have different cameras programmed, and it's really cool. We're going to showcase that a little bit here during this flight. So really enjoying that program. We're also going to use SayIntentions. SayIntentions is something I've used since they started. I really like it. It's a very conversational and here is the remnant on my flight yesterday. We're going to reset that. So we're going to use SayIntentions. If you want to try SayIntentions, click the link in the description. But let's get busy here. I'm going to get to my checklist and we're gonna work through that one together. Okay, let's set up, and I'm using a simplified checklist here. So let's check a couple of things first. I'm gonna make sure that the parking brakes are set. We have engine mode is normal and engine 1 and 2 are off. Throttle is in idle, flaps are up, and this one is the speed brake is it's not on. Going up here and make sure that the wipers are off. So there we are. Let's start to put on battery 1 and 2. There we go. External power is available, so turn that on. Nav and logo lights, turn those on. Turn on the APU. And after about 3 seconds, we turn APU start to on. And once this is turned available, we will turn off the external power. So we turn on the APU bleed. We turn on the nav. And we turn on the pumps, fuel pumps, oxygen for the cruise. It's on there. And we check that there are no white lights on the overhead. We arm the emergency exit lights. And no smoking to auto. And seat belts. We don't put the seatbelt on yet. So we have APU available. So we can turn on off the external. Okay, let's turn our attention to the iPad here, the EFB, and we import our data. So we are flying Arlanda to Kastrup today. We are taking off at 7:50 Zulu, so we have plenty of time. It's only 7:20 Zulu, so we might go a little bit early. Okay, I'm gonna double check offline here. So cost index 10, average wind 284.32. So I'm just checking that this is okay from the flight plan. All right, so that looks okay. So let's look at the fuel. So 10,500, we have 9,000 in the tank, so we just have a little bit to top off, so we use GSX for that. So we request refueling. Okay, so in the meantime, we go to the MCDU and start to program that. Before we do that, we're gonna listen to ATIS, and I'm gonna tune into ATIS and make some notes accordingly.
Stockholm Arlanda Airport, information Yankee. 0650 Zulu. Wind 215 at 14. Cav OK. Temperature 7. Dew point -1. QNH 1027. Density altitude -1100 feet. Transition level 55. Arriving and departing runways 19er right, 26, 19er left. Advise on initial contact, you have information Yankee.
Okay, so we got that. I made my notes accordingly, and we should be able to see our fuel truck. There is connecting the hoses. Refuel complete. Okay, he was set on the instant here. Ask to get the passengers boarded. Doing the init request. There we are, cost index 10. Cruising flight level is 280. That looks all good. Okay. So we'll load all this once we have boarding and everything completed. So let's go in here for departure. So 19 right is what I have in my documentation. And we're going out of Pete V1G. There we are. And insert. Arrival. Paperwork says 2 right. And Air No 3C. And we wait with the via. There we go. Insert. Check if we have anything, any discontinuity. There we are. Clear that. Clear. And clear. We're going to hear from Alejandro, our
Captain
head.
Christer, boarding has commenced and the first passengers are now aboard the aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, hola and welcome aboard Scandinavian Airlines Flight H123. My name is Alejandro El Hombros, y Paellas y Haciendas García de la Torre, y Pérez del Campo Rodríguez de Arrieta, alcalde municipal del Real Madrid. And I am your purser for this flight. We are delighted to have you with us today as we make our way to the beautiful city of Copenhagen. Please, find your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seat in front of you. If you need any assistance, don't hesitate to ask one of our friendly crew members. We're here to help. Thank you for flying with us today and enjoy the flight.
Let's set the local altimeter. We were told that that was 1027. Flight director is on. 27. There we go. 27. Let's ask for clearance using the SayIntentions AI ATC. Arlanda clearance, this is Scandinavian 823 with information Yankee on board. We are requesting IFR clearance for our flight to Copenhagen. Scandinavian 823.
Clearance on request. Stand by.
Boarding have completed. Can turn our attention to the MCDU.
Scandinavian 823. Information Yankee is current. Cleared to Kastrup via the Peter 1 Golf departure runway 19 right. Initial climb to 4,000 feet. Departure on 120.155 squawk 3357.
Cleared to Kastrup by the Pete 1 Golf departure. Departure runway 19 right. Initial climb 4,000. Departure 120.155. Squawk 3357. Scandinavian 823. All right, there's our clearance.
Scandinavian 823. Readback correct. Contact ground on 121.908 when ready.
Thank you, clearance. We will go over to ground on 121.98. Have a good day. Okay, we got all that taken care of. And we're gonna put in the squawk also. 3357. There we are. MCDU. So we have the fuel in there. Let's check my checklist here. We entered the weights, the fuel. And now we're going to do performance. We put the flap 1. Then we're going to calculate filling data from the OFP. Calculate flex to temp 70 and V1 147 and the other 148. There we go. We have set the QNH. And we have dot here, 4,000. Flight director. We can set the VORs. Turn those on there. Transponder, we can put this one so. And put that one to standby. Weather radar is off. And transponder TCAS set auto and standby. Okay, so parking brake is set. Windows are closed. APU is on. External power is off. APU bleed is on. Seatbelt sign is on. And we put the beacon on. And we should be ready for calling for pushback. All right, calling pushback using SayIntentions AI ATC. Arlanda ground, Scandinavian 823 at stand 37, ready for push and start.
Scandinavian 823, Arlanda ground, push and start approved, face west.
Push and start approved, face west, Scandinavian 823. Releasing brakes.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
All right, let's start the engines. So we set the Engine to start. And starting engine 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, hola and welcome aboard Scandinavian Airlines Flight H123. My name is Alejandro El Hombros, y Paellas y Haciendas García de la Torre, y Pérez del Campo Rodríguez de Arrieta, alcalde municipal del Real Madrid. And I am your purser for this flight. We are delighted to have you with us today, as we make our way from Stockholm to the beautiful city of Copenhagen. Our captain today is Christer, and assisting him is First Officer Brian. Joining me in the cabin are my wonderful colleagues, Eric, Ingrid, Lars, and Sofia. We are all here to ensure you have a pleasant flight. Our journey today will take approximately 57 minutes at a cruising altitude of 38,000 feet,
Parking brakes.
or about 11.5 kilometers for our
Waiting your
European friends.
confirmation for good engine start.
Now, I kindly ask for your attention as we go through the safety procedures of our Airbus A320.
Looking at N1 here, I want to see available.
To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fitting into the buckle and tighten by pulling on the
There's.
loose end of
Then
the
we start
strap.
engine 1.
To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin
See
pressure,
EGT rising, temperature,
oxygen masks will drop from the panel above your head.
exhaust gas,
Pull the mask towards
temperature.
you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth. Secure the elastic band behind your head and breathe normally. Please ensure your own mask is secure before assisting others. Your life vest is located under your seat. In the event of a water landing, remove the vest from its container and pull it over your head. Fasten the straps around your waist and pull to tighten. Inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tabs or by blowing into the tubes. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. 2 at the front, 4 over the wings and 2 at the rear. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit, keeping in mind it may be behind you. Thank you for your attention and for flying with us today. We wish you a pleasant flight. Imagine. Captain Christer, the cabin is ready for departure.
Good engine start.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
We can turn off the APU bleed, turn off that one. And here's a cool thing, we can do a tower view. So the airplane is over here. That's pretty cool. So that's something that's programmed into this software that totally takes over the all the camera settings for the aircraft. So this is our flight today. Very straightforward down to Copenhagen. So we're going to fly out here over these waypoints here, SA 704, and over to P3. We have initial climb clearance of 4,000 feet. So 19 right, that's where we're going to take off from, and that is over here. Arlanda ground, Scandinavian 823, ready for taxi.
Scandinavian 823, taxi to runway 19 right via Charlie Delta, Zulu Foxtrot, Yankee, Yankee 10.
Taxi to runway 19 right via Charlie Delta, Zulu Foxtrot, Yankee, Yankee 10. Scandinavian 823. Let's look that over again. So Charlie Delta, that's here, and then we go out to a Yankee. So Zulu Foxtrot Yankee and Yankee 10, and there is Yankee 10. All right, we got our route cleared. We have APU bleed off, APU master off, engine wing anti-ice not required. Order brake, gonna set that to max. flaps. I set that to 1 right now. Ground spoilers, there we go, arm those. And pitch trim as calculated, flight control free and full. And let's lock the doors. And let's do set the strobes. Strobes to auto and nose to taxi. We're clear on the left, clear on the right. So let's go. Let's play a little bit with the cameras. Oh. Let's alert the cabin. And seat belts should have been on. My mistake. Checking that we're ready here to go. Takeoff configuration is confirmed. Nice. Just put the wind shear.
Scandinavian 823, contact tower on 128.73. So long.
Over to tower on 128.73. Thank you so much, Scandinavian 823. All right, there we are. 19 right, confirmed there, Yankee 10. Let's turn our attention to the pedestal and set this one to TA. Set this one to on.
Attention all aircraft, Charlie now current QNH 1026.
1026. Set. Transponder TA config test has been completed. Let's get clearance for takeoff. Arlanda Tower, Scandinavian 823, runway 19 right, ready for takeoff. I actually said that wrong. I shouldn't say takeoff, I should say departure. Let's see if he's confused.
Scandinavian 823, Arlanda Tower, runway 19 right, winds 190 at 14, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 19 right, Scandinavian 823. Now we're going to ask my co-pilot to do the communications. This is another feature in SayIntentions. That's really cool. Hey Brian, will you take the communications from now on, please?
Sure, I'll handle the communications from now on.
Okay, let's roll. Landing lights on. Takeoff lights. So PAX 1 and 2, they are on. Engine and wing anti-ice not applicable. Engine mode selector normal. Weather radar, wind shear. Transponder TA takeoff configuration has been confirmed. Runway 19 right confirmed on runway. All right, here we go. Rotate. Positive climb, gear up. Climbing a little bit too steep. Set the throttle to climb. Setting autopilot.
On 120.155.
Switching to departure on 120.155, Scandinavian 823.
So there you hear my co-pilot Brian handling the comms. And coming up to speed for flap.
Departure Scandinavian 823 morning, climbing past 2000.
Flaps up.
Scandinavian 823, Stockholm departure identified. Cleared direct SA 704.
Cleared direct SA 704, Scandinavian 823.
After takeoff, landing gear are up, flaps retracted, the ground spoilers disarmed. Packs are on, transponder. There we go.
823, climb flight level 210.
Climbing flight level 210, Scandinavian 823.
210. Decision level, standard set.
Scandinavian 823, climb flight level 270.
Climbing flight level 270, Scandinavian 823.
Dear guests, this is Alejandro El Hombros, y Paella 100. Y Haciendas García de la Torre y Cerres del Campo Rodríguez de Arrieta, alcalde municipal del Real Madrid.
So we reached 10,000 feet.
We have now reached a safe altitude, and you may now use your electronic devices. Our onboard Wi-Fi service is available
off.
for your convenience. We are delighted to have you with us on this Scandinavian Airlines Flight 823 from Stockholm to Copenhagen. The weather in Copenhagen is quite pleasant with a temperature of 90 degrees Celsius and clear skies. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Thank you for flying with us today.
Scandinavian 823, Sweden control. Expect Erno 2 Charlie arrival. Expect to descend in about 15 minutes. Say the word if you want to descend sooner. Direct CH632.
Expecting Erno 2 Charlie arrival. Direct CH632. We'll let you know if we need to descend sooner. Scandinavian 823.
Checking the arrival here, we got Erno 3C that we got from ATC. Erno 2, he actually said Erno 2C. Let's just double check now that we have what runway we have. Brian, can you ask ATC to confirm the arrival runway for Copenhagen, please?
I can't confirm the arrival runway right now, but we're currently set for runway 22 left at Copenhagen.
Okay, 22 left. All right, 22 left. Okay. Erno 2C. It's a little bit weird. Okay, we have Brian said we had the ILS 22 left, but that doesn't have the arrival Erno 2C that we got from Sweden Control. So I'm going to call Sweden Control here directly. Sweden Control, can you confirm the runway for our arrival at Copenhagen, Scandinavian 823?
Scandinavian 823, runway 22 left. It's confirmed for your arrival at Copenhagen.
So Sweden Control, can you confirm our arrival? We got Erno 2C earlier, but there is no Erno 2C arrival for runway 22 left. We have a Erno 3C arrival. Can you confirm what arrival we should use for runway 22 left, please? See if he gets that.
Scandinavian 823. The correct arrival for runway 22 left at Copenhagen is Erno 2 Charlie. Please update your charts accordingly.
Copy that. Thank you, Sweden Control, Scandinavian 823. That's a little weird. Let's see here what it says now. So we're going to change here to left. Yeah, there is no Erno 2C.
Scandinavian 823. Cleared. Erno 2 Charlie arrival into Kastrup.
Cleared Erno 2 Charlie arrival into Kastrup. Scandinavian 823.
All right, we got cleared for our arrival, but I was gonna do Erno 3C because that's the only way to do this, I think. Let's set this up for our approach 208. That's the barrow. And QNH at our arrival, 10:31.
Descend flight level 350.
Descending flight level 350, Scandinavian 823.
Okay, descending 350.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your purser Alejandro El Hombros y Paellas y Haciendas García de la Torre IP.
Temperature 9,
Tires,
150
el
over
Galbo
11.
Rodríguez de Arrieta, alcalde municipal del Real Madrid speaking. We have now left our cruising altitude and begun our approach into Copenhagen. At this time, we kindly ask you to return to your seats, stow your tables, and fasten your seat belts securely. The use of the lavatories is no longer permitted. We expect a smooth landing, but your safety is our priority. Thank you for your cooperation and for flying with the Scandinavian Airlines today. Enjoy the beautiful view as we make our descent.
So we will arrive over NO. We need to be over 11,000 at max 250. And then Abegi under 4,000 at 220. Missed approach, climbing straight ahead to 500 feet. Past the OXS DME. So right now we're heading towards the coast of Sweden over Bjärehalvön and Ängelholm. Very beautiful area. Spent many summers down here.
Scandinavian 823. Descend altitude 4,000. QNH 1029er.
Descending to altitude 4,000, QNH 1029er. Scandinavian 823.
Okay, he said 4,000, but we're on another arrival. This gets a little bit complicated now. I think we're gonna fly according to the charts. So we're gonna set 11,000 for now. So we follow into Ernov here. So Ernov, we have 250 as the speed constraint. So he has that here, this little purple line. It's our current speed. So we're gonna start to brake here around, or not really brake, but we're gonna lower the speed around this purple dot. And at the purple circle, we should have met our altitude. And this also shows with this blue arrow that we will meet the flight level 110 that we put in here. So we're progressing well on our descent. So I set now the altitude to 4,000, so we should reach that at Abegi. And that's exactly where we need to be. Starting to turn in now. We're getting almost to 10,000, and I'm gonna set the lights when that happens. And we're coming up to 10,000, so I'm turning on the landing lights. And seatbelts on, as we are now coming in over Denmark.
gentlemen, hola. As we visit our final approach into the beautiful city of Copenhagen, we kindly ask you to turn off your electronic devices and stow them until we've arrived at the gate. Please ensure your tray tables are put away, your seats are in their full upright position, and your seat belts are fastened securely. Our lovely Scandinavian Airlines staff will provide you with information regarding your connecting flights once we are on the ground. To my wonderful crew, please check that everyone is seated and has their seat belts fastened. Thank you for your cooperation and for flying with us today. Captain, cabin is ready.
Scandinavian 823. Turn left, heading 120 vectors for the visual runway 22 left approach.
Left heading 120 vectors for the visual 22 left approach. Scandinavian 823.
Not completely sure what he's making us do here. Okay, he's having us go straight in here, huh? Okay. Let's go with the flow.
Scandinavian 823. Turn left, heading 085.
Left heading 085. Scandinavian 823.
Turn left, heading 085.
Scandinavian 823. 8 miles from the approach turn. Turn right, heading 165. Descend altitude 3000 until established. Cleared for the visual runway 22 left approach.
Right heading 165, descend to 3000 until established. Cleared for the visual 22 left approach. Scandinavian 823.
I think I need to help him along a little bit, so I did a direct to this waypoint here, where we need to be at 2000 to capture the ILS.
Scandinavian 823. Contact Kastrup Tower on 121. Decimal 83.
And we did 2000.
Switching to Kastrup Tower on 121 decimal 83. Scandinavian 823.
Approach. Gonna be a little bit messy this. Oh, there's a little wind.
Kastrup Tower, Scandinavian 823. Morning, we're established on the visual approach for runway 22 left.
2,500. Scandinavian 823, Kastrup Tower, winds 140 at 10. Runway 22 left, cleared to land.
Runway 22 left, cleared to land. Scandinavian 823.
All right, we are way too fast. I think we need to go do a go around here. Capture the localizer. But we are way too fast.
Ryanair 68 Sierra uniform holds short of runway 12.
Brian, we need to do a go around. We are way too fast here. Please ask for go around.
Scandinavian 823 executing a go around.
Scandinavian 823, roger. Execute the go-around. Fly runway heading, climb altitude 3,000 feet, and contact departure on 120.155 for further instructions.
Executing the go-around, runway heading, climb to 3,000 feet, contacting departure on 120.155, Scandinavian 82. Kastrup Tower, Scandinavian 823. We have the runway in sight, prepared to land on runway 22 left.
Scandinavian 823, winds 150 at 10. Runway 22 left, clear to land.
Runway 22 left, cleared to land, Scandinavian 823.
Setting flaps 2. Gear down. Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Cabin crew, take seats for landing.
400.
A little bit high.
100 above. Minimum.
Proceed. Well. Yeah, normally you would do go around here, but we're just gonna set him down.
50. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Rough landing, guys, but we got. I was so tired. I didn't want to do another go around. Oh, good lord. Well, I was breaking all the rules. All right, let's flaps up.
Scandinavian 823, welcome to Kastrup. Contact ground on 121.905.
Switching to ground on 121.905. Scandinavian 823.
All right, that was interesting, but we got there down. Let's now clean up.
Kastrup ground, Scandinavian 823. Afternoon, we're clear of runway 22 left and ready to taxi to the gate.
Scandinavian 823, Kastrup ground, taxi to B17 via Bravo 2, Bravo, cross runway 12, then Yankee. Good day.
Oh, what a delightful landing that was, eh?
Taxi to Bravo 17 via Bravo 2, Bravo, cross runway 12, then Yankee. Scandinavian 823.
Along with our wonderful crew, Eric, Ingrid, Lars, Sofía, and myself, Alejandro El Hombros, y Paellas, y Haciendas Garcha de la Torre y Pa, Cres del Campo Rodríguez de Arrieta, alcalde municipal del Real Madrid, are thrilled to
It's
have
funny.
you here. The local time is 11:12 a.m. and the weather is quite pleasant with a temperature of 10 degrees Celsius and clear skies. Copenhagen is a city full of charm and history. Did you know that it's home to the oldest amusement park in the world, Bakken? And the Little Mermaid statue, inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's
Getting
fairy
some
tale,
information.
is a must-see. Please remain seated with your seat belts fastened until we reach our final parking position, and the seatbelt sign is turned off.
All right.
We thank you for flying with Scandinavian Airlines today, and we hope you enjoy your stay in this beautiful city.
Yeah, thank you for flying with me. Although the landing was was a lot, but I had fun, and I hope you enjoyed the flight. And see you next time. And don't forget, if you want to try SayIntentions, click the link. You know the drill. I'll catch you next flight. Bye bye.